how to diagnose this vehicle. This Dodge Ram, and it's having an issue with coolant temperature sensor. So the moment you start it, the fan just kick in. So if you can see, the temperature sensor is way high and the fan just kicked in. So when I scanned it, it was telling me engine coolant temperature sensor. And when you raise the fault code, it doesn't go off. It's a hot fault code, let me put it that way. So when you raise the fault code, it will not go off, it will still be on. So they were going to change the control board, and they called me to come and have a look at it for them. So if you can see, my active fault code is engine coolant temperature sensor high, too high. That means it's lacking ground. So what I'm going to do now is, let me go to live data, and check if I can find the engine coolant temperature voltage, if they will give me the voltage. So let me see. So let me search for engine coolant. I'm at the E side. So engine here, so this engine coolant, you can see the voltage is 5. That means there is open in the circuit. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start my testing. The location of the sensor is at the back, and the place that it is difficult for me to reach. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to the control unit. It looks like they've done some work on it. So they've already removed the cover for me, so it is more accessible to me. So I'll do my testing from here. I'll find the exact wire which is connected to the which goes to the engine coolant sensor. Then what I'll do is, I'll shut it to ground and see if the fault code is going to change to high, then to low. If it changes to low, then that means my problem could be the wiring issue. Maybe it is broken somewhere, or they are having wiring issue. Then I'll do that to check it. So there's a quick diagnosing. So I'm hoping I can finish within some few minutes. So let me do that and bring you guys back. So now I've connected it from the back of the control unit to test. If I get a 5-volt reference from this side, the next thing I'll do is, I've seen that this cable doesn't have any socket anywhere. So I'll tell them to go and change the sensor and bring it, if it still happens that way. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm coming to test, turn on the ignition and test if I'll get 5-volt reference on my green cable. So let me do my selection here. Okay, so now my voltmeter is turned on, and let me bring it to this side and see if I'll be able to get any voltage on it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the key on, then see if I'll be able to get any voltage on it. From here, okay, so now let me see. Okay, so you can see I'm having 5 volts on the coolant temperature sensor. I'm having 5 volts on the coolant temperature sensor. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this test light to bring it to ground and see if it goes to 0. If it goes to 0, then that means they have to just go and change their temperature sensor. But they said they've changed the control board. So if I do this and it tells me that the control board is reading all the signal properly, then that means they have to go and change their temperature sensor. But from here, it looks like I'm not getting any 5-volt reference out on that cable. So what I'll do is, let me try and peel the cable out, and maybe my pin hasn't entered into the hole properly. So let me do that. So now that I've connected it successfully, now you can see my temperature is almost 5 volts. So I've connected my test light to ground on this probe, and I'm going to ground it. So when I ground it, it has to go to 0. I don't have a resistor here to say maybe I'll put a resistor in it so that it might take it to the right temperature that it needs. I don't have most of my things here. The best thing I can do also is to find for another temperature sensor and just test it here for it to see. Okay, I think if for temperature sensor I'll get some. So let me just manage this my connection. So if you can see, I've lost connection. Oh, okay, so now you can see I'm having 11 volts. I'm going to search if I'll get temperature sensor in my tools. You can see we can see that we are having the same voltage here. So this tells me that my control board is not the issue, so it could be a wiring issue. So I'll speak to them. If they did something on the vehicle, they'll go and check their own thing and store the so now what I can do is I just have to, so you can see the temperature is still high. So let me bring my temperature sensor and ground it and start the vehicle and see if everything is going to be okay. So for now I will disconnect it because now I've shortened it to ground and it should change the fault code. So let me see if the control unit is reporting properly. Let me read the fault code. It should be low, circuit low or something here. So now if you can see, we are having circuit low and circuit high pending. Let me erase the fault code. Let's see. So we are having circuit low and circuit high pending. So let me scan it again and it will pop up circuit low. You can see now I'm getting only circuit low. So that means the control board is controlling the system properly. So what I can do best now is let me bring my temperature sensor and connect it to the vehicle, run the vehicle and see if the fan goes off. Then I tell them to go and trace the temperature sensor. If they want me to give them the location, I can also do that for them, but I'm not going to do that job here. It's going to delay me. You can see still having this temperature sign on, so I'll run the vehicle. But before that, now that I've been able to change the state of the fault code, now let me bring my other temperature sensor and work with it and let's see. So I didn't get the exact thing, but I got these variable resistors which I have placed here. Come in, let me set. Okay, I've gotten these variable resistors which I have set here. So it should tell me there is no fault related to check engine. I hope so. Yeah, so now let me erase all fault code. Okay, let me read fault code. Okay, still showing low. Let me go to live data and see what voltage I'll be getting there. But as I'm waiting to get to live data, let me go to E. Okay, so now I'm having it to be 2.8. So what I can do for myself is to start the vehicle. Yeah, is to start the vehicle and see if I'm going to have any change. So when I placed in the resistor, you can see now the coolant is So let me allow it to run, although it is not going to read. Now the fan is not coming up again. The fan is not coming up again, and I'm still having my exact voltage. I'm still having my voltage to be 2.6, 2.5. The fan is not kicking in, so I can say it's a voltage issue. So I'll ask them to go and check it and give me the feedback. You can see up to now the fan has not kicked in yet. And let me go back and see fault code and see if I can erase the fault code. Yeah, I'll not pay attention to the other fault code. So let me erase the fault code. Oh, sorry, because the engine is running, so it's not allowing me to erase the fault code. So what I'll do now is I'll just have to, you can see now it's not having any issue. So let me just turn on the key. Then let me speak to the people to, yeah, let me erase the fault code. And read. And there is no DTC. So that means now after running the vehicle, everything has passed and the vehicle is seeing it. So for them going to replace the control board, it's not necessary anymore. So the best thing they can do is to trace the temperature sensor and replace it. I'll speak to them about it and tell them to go and do it. Then after they are done, they give me the feedback. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. So now there is no fault code related to any temperature sensor, although the other fault code, but there is none related to the temperature sensor because of the connection I have done here, and I've manipulated the system to make it, to make you see it. Let me turn on my flashlight here, so if you can see here. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. So let me do scan again, and you see there will not be any fault code related to temperature sensor. There could be other fault code which was not brought to me to sort it out. So I'll just tell them to take it and go and do their own work. Then they'll give me a call back. Then I'll know what to do with them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. So now there is no fault code related to anything. It's good to have certain things to verify your test and confirm your test. So this fault code they are facing, it's not a control board issue. So they don't need to change the control board. They wanted me to program it for them, but I told them let me diagnose it first and know the actual problem. So I'll speak to them to go and do the diagnosis, then to go and change the sensor, then let them get back to me. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. Yeah. After several hours, I found out that the shop that the vehicle was in, they fitted a wrong one. So you can see I'm having two sockets on the temperature gauge socket. So they fitted another sensor on it, and that was what was causing the problem. So that sensor was open. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to retape it and work on it. So after several hours, you can see they fitted this on it, and now I fitted the original one on the original socket. And let me crank the vehicle and see if it will go off. If the fan doesn't come on, then I'll tell them to go and replace the because by now the fan is not coming now, and the temperature sensor is at 0. So what I'll tell them is to come and pick the car and go and fix temperature sensor themselves because the location is crazy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'm fixing everything now. You can see that my temperature gauge is working perfectly. So I'll scan the vehicle and see. So now I'll scan the vehicle and see if I can let the check engine light go off, if that's the only fault related to temperature sensor. So I'm done fixing this vehicle. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. So let me do auto scan so that it scans it quickly. So now I have to check why I'm having all these fault codes. It could be maybe there are issues, but the main problem they brought the car in was because of the temperature gauge rising. So now I'll wait for the system to finish scanning, then let me turn it off and turn it back on. And I don't need to. Okay, let me check the fault codes in the system. Yeah, the remaining are not part of my issue, so let me just erase the fault code and rescan the vehicle and see. And you can see even now that ignition is on, the temperature gauge is still at the level that it needs to be. So let me wait for it to finish erasing the needed fault code. So I'll wait for it to finish erasing all the fault code. So this tells me that I'm done with my diagnosing, and my diagnosing was right. The socket that they fitted wasn't fitting properly, so I worked on it and now everything is fitted properly. So let me run the vehicle and you can see everything is perfect. So let me go back and go into the ECU and check my temperature gauge and see where my temperature sensor will be at. So let me see where my temperature sensor live data and see where my temperature sensor will be at. That will let me know if it's 100% fixed. By now it's 100% fixed, although they didn't fit the exact temperature sensor on the vehicle. So it could be that maybe the socket wasn't fitted properly, but now that I'm done working with the sockets, everything is fitted properly, and thank God you are able to do it. So if you can see, this in far right, so you can change it and you can see my voltage now. My voltage is around 0.6 volts. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.